I'm awkward and I'm odd. And you'd be ashamed of me.
I love you, Joe.
And we would quarrel because we can't help it even now.
I can't love anyone else, Joe. I only love you.
She keeps talking about her own flaws, and he keeps expressing his affection. Joe meets Lori at a nighttime ball. Because the hem of her dress is burnt, her sister Meg warns Joe again and again not to move around so no one will notice the flaw. Since Joe is unfamiliar with the rules of a ball, she can only stand aside in a daze. At that moment, a man who is also left out gestures to her, which makes Joe feel overwhelmed. She does not want to dance with a stranger, yet by accident she ends up meeting Lori.
Sorry, I didn't know anyone was here.
Not at all. Stay if you'd like.
Lori has just returned from Europe to his hometown, and because everything around him feels unfamiliar, he also chooses to hide in the corner, perhaps because their personalities are similar. Joe and Lori feel relaxed and joyful together. They avoid the eyes of the crowd and dance gracefully along the corridor in the courtyard. And this wonderful feeling is incredibly exciting. Even if their dance steps are terrible, no one will notice. But before they can enjoy themselves, Sister Meg accidentally twists her ankle. Lori generously hires a carriage to send the sisters home, only to be surprised to discover that they are actually neighbors. Joe's family has 4 sisters in total. The eldest sister Meg is beautiful and fond of luxury. Joe is independent and strong, passionate about writing. The third sister Beth is introverted and kind, fond of the piano. And the youngest sister Amy is good at painting. Because their father enlisted, Joe's household is filled only with women, and the small wooden house is crowded yet warm. Before leaving, Lori stands in the snow looking at Joe by the window with reluctance. He likes this atmosphere that is completely different from his own home. Although Lori's family belongs to the upper class, the house feels very empty. His parents and other relatives have left for various reasons, and in the large old mansion, only his grandfather and the tutor John remain. On the first morning of Christmas, their mother takes the 4 sisters out together, and they give their breakfast to their neighbor Hummel, because even though their own family will go hungry, they still want those who struggle more to get through the winter. But when they return home, it feels as if Santa has visited, and the table is filled with delicious food they have never seen before. And all of this is thanks to Lori's grandfather, who also likes these lively girls, and their presence brings new life to the quiet old mansion. The 2 families gradually grow closer, and Lori even joins the sisters' family theater. He gives each girl a key to open a mailbox hidden in the forest, and the tiny attic becomes their stage. At night, Lori invites Joe and Meg to watch a stage play, and the youngest sister Amy begs desperately to join because she loves being around Lori, but she is ignored by her sisters in the end. Throughout the show, half of Lori's attention stays on the lady beside him, and John does the same, except he receives a response. When they leave, Meg is already holding John's left arm, and Lori reaches out his hand, only to be punched hard by Joe. Clearly Meg is charmed by John, and when Joe plans to write down everything that happened tonight, she cannot find her draft anywhere. It turns out Amy burned the novel Joe spent so long writing to get revenge. She knows it is the only thing Joe truly cares about, and only this can make her sister sad. The 2 immediately get into a fight, and afterward Amy keeps apologizing, and their mother hopes the sisters will not stay upset overnight.
Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Forgive her. Help each other. And you begin again tomorrow.
She doesn't deserve my forgiveness. And I will hate her. I will hate her forever.
But Amy's mistake is too foolish, and Joe swears she will never forgive her, nor does she want to spend even a moment with Amy. Just then Lori comes to take Joe ice skating, and they skate farther and farther along the riverbank, enjoying their rare time alone, and everything under the morning sun feels perfect. Suddenly they hear Amy's cry for help behind them, and the inexperienced Amy has fallen into the center of the frozen lake. But Lori reacts quickly and pulls her back onto the ice using a tree branch. Otherwise Amy might have lost her chance at forgiveness forever. This makes Joe feel deeply guilty, because if anything had happened to her sister today, Joe would never forgive herself. But not everyone is born generous, and their mother sees Joe's kindness and guilt, telling her that everything is already in the past, and as long as the family stays together, life can be happy even with little money. The one with the opposite viewpoint is their wealthy aunt, who lives alone just to guard her fortune. and she constantly urges Joe to marry into wealth. In that era, aside from inheriting a husband's assets, women almost had no chance to live freely by themselves, and the joy of a simple life that their mother talks about sounds foolish to the aunt. She then says that as long as Joe behaves well, she will take her to Europe and help her find a suitable partner. But Joe is stubborn. She wants to prove that love is not the only path for a woman, and that she can earn freedom and respect through her own abilities. During the holiday, Meg is invited by a friend to attend a ball, and before she leaves, their mother gives her the first piece of jewelry in her life, which Joe finds interesting. So she dramatically kneels on one knee and imitates the moment by giving Laurie a ring before turning away carefree, not noticing how carefully Laurie places it on his ring finger. Grandfather not only covers Meg's travel expenses but also allows Beth to come play the piano at his home, and her gentle music makes him feel as if his daughter has never left. Coincidentally, Laurie and Meg are attending the same ball.
Why are they calling you Daisy?
It's their pet name for me.
Meg wears a borrowed pink dress, and even her name is something someone came up with on the spot to make her appearance look elegant. Meg, who never drinks, pretends to be graceful, and she abandons her true self. Laurie bluntly says that Meg is too flashy and artificial, and if Joe finds out, it will be a disaster.
I know it's silly, but please don't tell Joe. Let me have my fun tonight. I'll be desperately good for the rest of my life.
Laurie agrees to Meg's request, and Meg does indeed return to her true nature afterward. They play together on the beach. Joe and Laurie always stay together. Meg and John develop feelings for each other, and amid everyone's cheerful laughter, no one notices Amy secretly drawing Laurie. Because their father is injured on the front line, their mother must leave home to take care of him in the hospital. And to raise travel money, Joe actually cuts off her long hair, which shocks everyone, and Laurie turns away with a playful smile, unable to look directly, because Joe always brings joy to the people around her. While their mother is away, the sisters all stay busy, and only the kind-hearted Beth remembers their mother's instructions. She gives Laurie's grandfather the cotton shoes she knitted by hand, then brings food to visit the Hummel family. When she returns, she finds a brand new piano in the house, which is a gift from the grandfather to Beth, as he already treats this girl like his own daughter. But Beth's body is too fragile, and because she often visits the Hummel family, she unfortunately contracts scarlet fever, a disease that could take a life in that era. To prevent the illness from spreading, the youngest sister Amy is sent to their aunt's house, and Joe and Meg, who previously had scarlet fever, stay behind, and their mother immediately returns from the hospital. The gentle and lovable Beth has always been the emotional support of the family, and no one wants this sister to leave them, so they guard her through the night.
Please, please, just fight to the end and be loud and don't just quietly go away, Beth.
Perhaps it is because a higher power heard Joe's plea. Beth miraculously pulls through, and their father also returns home alive from the battlefield, making this the happiest Christmas, with everyone sharing lunch as if they were one family. Not long after, Meg and John's wedding arrives, and Joe feels terrified. She does not want her sister to leave her, and anxiously begs Meg to run away with her so she will not be bound by marriage.
I want a home and a family, and I'm willing to work and struggle, but I want to do it with John.
I just hate that you're leaving me. Don't leave. John.
Ironically, the sister who loves vanity the most and dreams of entering the upper class, Meg, ends up marrying the poor John, as she chooses her true love. Their aunt does not approve of their marriage at all, saying that poverty will bring endless hardship, and only the two of them will know what suffering awaits. And Laurie clearly cannot hold back his feelings any longer, and they leave the crowd and walk to a romantic meadow. And seeing Laurie hesitating to speak, Joe's greatest fear finally arrives.
I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. And I tried to show and you wouldn't let me, which is fine.
No.
But I must make you here now and give me an answer because I cannot go on like this any longer.
Please,
I gave
don't.
up billiards. I gave up everything you didn't like. I'm happy I did. It's fine. And I waited and I never complained because I figured you'd love me, Joe.
To win Joe's heart, Laurie has given up all the habits she dislikes, hoping to improve himself so that she will love him. But for Joe, she has adored freedom all her life, and even if everyone hopes they will be together, and even if they could be happy as long as they are together, Joe still cannot accept it. Laurie expresses his affection again and again, and Joe repeatedly explains her flaws, as she believes marriage will tear them apart.
I think you're wrong about that, Joe.
No.
I think you will marry Joe. I think you'll find someone and love them, and you will live and die for them because that's your way, and you will. And I'll watch.
Laurie turns and leaves in disappointment, as he has never missed anything in Joe's life, yet he is always kept outside her heart. Joe does not know whether what she is doing is right, nor does she understand the ending of loving or not loving, and she follows her inner voice, traveling alone to the capital to pursue her writing dream, and earning money becomes her first priority, even though she is always alone. And even though she writes stories that go against her heart just to earn a small payment, she at least proves that love is not everything for a woman, and that a woman can live freely on her own. And just as their aunt predicted, the married Meg suffers under financial pressure, and because she impulsively buys expensive fabric, her 2 children may go hungry, and her husband John loses his winter coat. Beth, who has always been weak, lives in the grandfather's house, where she has no worries about food or warmth, yet she endures loneliness. Amy follows their aunt to Europe, and coincidentally meets Laurie there, who is also traveling in Europe. And although he seems to have moved beyond Joe's memory, he spends his nights at balls drinking excessively and wasting time, and the ring Joe gave him has never been taken off, which breaks Amy's heart, and the two support each other for a long time, and Joe still hasn't changed her bad habit of getting too close to the fireplace and burning her skirt, but fortunately she is noticed in time by Friedrich, who shares the same flaw, and through the years he has also been pursuing Joe. Joe knows she has feelings for Friedrich, but she chooses to ignore them, because years ago she was even able to push Laurie away with her own hands, and she remains stubborn in pursuing her dreams, until a letter from home arrives, saying that Beth has fallen ill again, and Joe rushes home at once to care for her together with Meg. Although life is poor, it is clear that Meg has married for true love, and this moment even makes Joe feel dazed. Unfortunately, Beth still cannot survive this time, and the gently falling maple leaves feel like longing. Mother tells Joe that Laurie is about to return from Europe.
Do you love it?
Perhaps I was too quick in turning him down. Laurie.
At this moment, Joe truly feels regret, and she longs to be loved.
Women, they have minds, and they have souls, as well as just hearts, and they've got ambition, and they've got talent, as well as just beauty, and I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it. But I'm so lonely.
On the road to success, we often carry the weight alone, but sometimes we wonder if having someone by our side might help us walk faster.
My dear Teddy, I miss you more than I can express. I used to think that the worst fate was to be a wife. I was young and stupid. But now I have changed. The worst fate is to live my life without you in it.
Joe drops her confession letter into the childhood mailbox, and when she opens her eyes again, the charming face truly appears before her once more. But Laurie brings news of an ending, as he is engaged to Amy. Joe wants to say something, and she realizes her expression may look even worse than crying. Ironically, Laurie now agrees with Joe's old belief even more, thinking that if they were together, they would indeed hurt each other. Joe is left speechless and can only lift her spirits, because at the very least, they are still friends. The confession letter in the mailbox feels ridiculous, and Joe tears it apart with her own hands, because there is no longer any possibility between her and Laurie. At night, Joe tosses and turns unable to sleep, so she picks up her pen and writes down the stories between herself and her sisters. And the more she writes, the deeper it goes, as countless ideas burst forth. During this time, Friedrich visits her once, and amazingly, these simple family stories unexpectedly gain great affection from readers, and the editor decides to publish them as a book. But with one condition: the ending must be changed, because in the story Friedrich comes for Joe, yet Joe does not ask him to stay, and the heroine remains unmarried, which does not fit the expectations of that era. To gain a larger share of the earnings, Joe finally changes the ending, and the heroine stops Friedrich on a rainy night, shares a kiss, and the novel becomes a major success. With this money, the sisters turn the aunt's inherited house into a school, and from then on everyone lives happily together, and the ending is very perfect. But whether Joe actually marries in the end remains unknown. This is the film Little Women, adapted from the novel of the same name, first published in 1868, and later adapted and remade many times. In the original concept of the author Alcott, Joe was never meant to marry, and the author herself never married, and she changed the ending only because of the limits of the era. The director understands the frustration and intention of the original author, so the film gives an ambiguous final chapter, where Joe, to earn higher royalties, leaves a subtle and uncertain relationship with a man who appears only a few times. Even though the world has changed greatly, the story of Little Women remains timeless, as freedom and love are eternal themes. Love is not everything for a woman, and Joe spends her entire life proving this. And a woman can live independently on her own, but the cost is heavy, and Joe and Laurie's love story makes countless hearts ache. To resist the belief that love is everything for a woman, Joe turns her own love into a weapon, and in the end she wins. But the weapon is completely broken. Love is not a weapon. It is not the enemy of freedom, and it is even a part of pursuing freedom, because seeking love itself is also a form of freedom. Young Joe does not understand this, and she clings too tightly to the past, and she drops her confession letter into the mailbox without realizing that she is the only one still standing in youth, while everyone else has already stepped boldly into the future. The once vain Meg marries the ordinary John. The once gentle Beth has already passed on. The once obedient Amy, urged to marry wealth, chooses Laurie instead. And even the once devoted Laurie, who only loved Joe, has bravely found new love. So we should be grateful to live in a free era, with far fewer restrictions and restraints, where freedom and love do not oppose each other, and we should all walk forward boldly to live the life we truly want, without sorrow for the past.